bodega, a sort of company store. This young man worked 9 days for a pound of rice, beans, and some cooking oil.
He has nothing left over, fortunately.
We showed the head of the government sugar agency videotape we recorded on the plantation.
Looking at these images, one gets the impression that 200 years after it was abolished, slavery is still alive and well in the Dominican Republic.
No. Yo no puedo decir que
no, this is not slavery. The conditions are depressed, but they're not much worse than what the workers left behind in Haiti.
Black people who didn't come on the Nina, the Pinta, the Santa Maria, or the Mayflower, but who came in the holds of ships. And from the day that our fathers set the
Evangeline Tweed and her husband have cut Dominican cane for more than 60 years. Today, he's blind and paralyzed, yet he has never received any kind of government assistance. This is what lies ahead for too many of the cane children.
I think a person like that should go back to his country.
He can't even walk.
So why didn't he leave before this?
The man can't walk, he can't see. He's lost his eyesight. Why can't you give him a little medical attention?
Are you the victim of a violent crime?
Ah, you can just taste it. The warmth of the sun, the pure country air, the golden green of the land. You can taste that farm freshness in every part of a Shady Brook Farms turkey. Turkey parts. Fresh from Shady Brook Farms. In this whole world, there is no better turkey.
You constantly speak of injustice in the country. Look at the injustice that you're doing to these people. Let America be the way it should be. What do you want to separate everyone for? What is the purpose of that? That's not this country.
Excuse me, I was brought up in, quote, Bedford-Stuyvesant in my time. But I would like to say what scares us is I think we hear violence.
How would you address some of the educated, upper-class blacks who are sending their children off to college now and are distressed that they're coming back too black?
I'd just like to say I think you should be thanking God that you live in this country instead of wanting to take your people and moving to another country with all the opportunities that you have here.
The idea
this should not
for
come as a shock
lot of the experiments
to
came
you
when two American scientists
viruses have been
there
used for
sat down
years
with concentration camp
to get
records
rid of
to
unwanted
read
and useless.
how long it took the gas.
20 years ago, you could have bought this classic sofa from Huffman Coos and it would still be in style today. How many things can you say that about?
I can dig it.
The prisoners.
Huffman Coos, where you'll never think, what was I thinking?
I agree with you that we live in a racist society. Just as I'm racist, some of you are being racist in the fact that you're calling me a white folk. I realize that things that I have, things that I have, I realize most of them I may have gotten because I'm white, and I am privileged because I'm white. But I do feel guilty. There are feelings of guilt from being white, and I realize that, but you're building walls. We build walls this high.
And it's pathetic that white folks have to wait till February to find out that we were slaves. I would like us to speak to what are we going to do to improve the education of this whole society, which have cheated them from our true heritage.
Yes, there were German scientists who invented the nerve gas that we...
On a white arrogance here, and they don't want to listen to what black people are saying. They don't understand because they don't want to understand. I've heard a woman here say, go back to Africa. Somebody said, we have a black holiday. What does that mean?
And it would not be too cynical to say that it is that which keeps organized religion afloat. The fear that without it, evil will win the day. Tomorrow, a startling theory about satanic possession and the Holocaust, how evil nearly did win the day in one of history's darkest periods.
Bugle boy of Company B.
You have 2 million Indians on reservations, Indian women being sterilized. You have 30 million blacks unemployed, unemployable, unemployed.
Back to what she said, what exactly do we have a problem with? Before you made a statement, you said that I think that, well, not I, you said that white people think that you're inferior to us. I don't believe that. I'm part of the youth of America. I am not prejudiced. I feel more prejudiced right now than I've ever felt. Not against black, I am not prejudiced against black people. Some of my best friends are black people. I am, what's the problem with that?
Yeah.
You let him speak, let me speak.
Yeah. You wanted to speak to this young woman?
No, I don't want to speak.
Who wants to talk to her? Yes.
No.
Yes.
What do you mean you feel more prejudice right now?
Because what?
What he's saying right now, I mean, I feel that you are prejudiced towards white people.
Excuse me. I think it's like he said, it might be a fear or misunderstanding that you have. Because what fear has he put, or what has he actually said here today that makes you feel prejudiced?
He said that we think that they're inferior. I think it's partly part of your own complex that you have to get over, because I don't feel you're inferior. I have nothing against black people.
I think we've missed the point here. We talk about racism. There is no racism in this heart. What we have missed the point on is your children and our children are in jail and are on drugs because of drugs. We need to talk about how to get our children off of drugs. And absolutely. We need to unite. When we get our children off of drugs, I think our children will be talking together, and your 600,000 young men will not be in jail any longer.
Here's 20 new reasons to visit Disney World this year. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. One more time. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20.
Call 1-407-WDisney now.
The gulf is created as by an audience education of intelligent people. Environment. I would like to just take a moment to say to you improper that I really don't think you fully understand what has happened in the United States to these people that you look at as second class or inferior citizens in this nation. Black people who were brought to this country, I'm not saying the teachings of Jesus of their names, I'm talking about the way Christianity has been culture, religion. I was talking to a Catholic God a few weeks ago and taken totally away from the history of themselves. Here are 30 million people who don't wear their own names. They wear Ham was one of the sons who don't speak their own language. They speak English, which is not their language. They never were allowed. Of course, he was doomed their own cultural expression of Africa. And don't you realize that when you turn a people upside down and inside out, then sell them not for a day, not for a year, but for 300 years and deny us the human right to know, to read a book, to learn, to understand. And then, after 300 years of that, you allow us into the church, but by that time, you painted Jesus white, God white, the angels white, and then all these black people have been subjected to a form of white supremacy, which produces in the reverse a black inferiority. And this is fulfilling what Jesus said, as a man thinks, so is he. And as long as our people appreciate ourselves,